Hey friends, welcome to Strong and Healthy, a podcast for my grandchildren and any believers and local church leaders who want to grow in their walk with Jesus. My name is Steve Barr, and here is where you're going to find practical truths and biblical wisdom on a wide variety of topics to encourage, challenge, and hopefully inspire you to take your next steps in God. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's so good to be back with you again today. We are going to continue our talk on how to raise up leaders, actually including your children as well. So we started off talking about church leadership particularly, but this applies in every area. And we asked some questions. Am I followable? We want to be leaders that other people can follow. Jesus said, "My sheep recognize my voice. I know them and they follow me." So we want to have everything in order so that people are following something that represents Jesus well. We want to keep the big picture in mind. Leaders have a big overarching concern and picture, not just what's at their feet. Leaders also have the solutions and not just point out problems. And leaders have a team spirit. It's us, not me, and we, not I. And leaders keep their commitments, even if it costs them something. They keep their word, even when it hurts. So we are continuing today with number 5 here. Leaders are finishers. They are finishers. Leaders finish what they start. Jesus said, "It is finished," when he finished the race and the task that God had for him. Paul said, "I have finished my course." And I used to be a school principal and superintendent, and I interviewed a lot of people. Honestly, I wanted to know that when they showed me their degree, yes, I was a bit interested in how they did in that degree and what the degree was. But the biggest thing that I wanted to know was, did they finish? Are you a finisher? Did you complete your courses? So Paul said this, "I have finished my race and completed my task." Number 6, leaders don't have an entitlement mentality. 2 Timothy 2:15, Paul says, "Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved. A workman does not need to be ashamed, and who handles the word of truth correctly." Stuff is not just going to be handed to me. I need to take responsibility for my growth and my maturity. So if you have any hope of ever leading in the church, take every sermon and take every teaching to heart. I had a picture years ago of people who attend a weekend service and they hear a great preach or learn a great lesson, and on the way home they say, "Wow, that was a great lesson, that was a great preach." And it's like having a brick in your hand and saying, "Isn't this a great brick? It's such an amazing brick." And we'll talk about it for a half an hour, and then I'll toss it over my shoulder into the backyard, and years later I have a pile of bricks in the backyard, but I never built anything with them. All the truths that I was exposed to over the years, all the things that I heard preached or taught to me or heard from the Lord, I just throw them in a big pile, and God expects us to grow and to build with all of those truths. John 10:12 and 13, "A hired hand will run when he sees a wolf coming. He will leave the sheep because they aren't his, and he isn't their shepherd. So the wolf attacks them and scatters the flock. A hired hand runs away because he is merely hired and has no real concern for the sheep." So as we grow in leadership, we want to own up to our own mistakes. We want to have an ownership mentality as we lead in the local church. We want to say, "I'm not just a hireling, but I'm an owner. I take ownership." Maybe it's not mine directly. Maybe I'm the son of the owner or something, but I treat it as if it is mine. And I never blame others for my mistakes. I always own up to my mistake, or I own up to my team's mistakes, and I take responsibility. That's ownership mentality. We need to see that more in the church. We need to see that among kids being raised up in the home and people working in their employment. Number 7 here, leaders realize that they are light, and that attracts people. So you have to settle the issue. You're going to be watched and you're going to be evaluated by others. That's just the way it is. God said to Satan, in the book of Job, have you considered my servant Job? So people are watching. Paul says to Timothy, don't neglect your gift, which was given you through a prophetic message when the body of elders laid their hands on you. Be diligent in these matters. Give yourself totally or wholly to them so that everyone may see your progress. So in training Timothy, Paul said, Timothy, people are going to be watching you. People are going to see your progress. So watch your life and your gifting and your doctrine. And when you do well, that encourages others. When you do well, that inspires others to follow you and to be like you. 1 Corinthians 10:33 through chapter 11, verse 1, that is the plan I follow too, Paul says. I try to please everyone in everything I do. I don't just do what I like or what's best for me, but I do what's best for them, so they may be saved. And you should follow my example just as I follow Christ's. So Paul says, I'm not in it just to please myself, do what's best for me, but I, as a leader, do what's best for the people. So you are an example, whether you like it or not. People are evaluating you, either positively or negatively. They are learning from you. They will take what you do and go further. Big point number 2 here, how do I lead? The answer is leaders lead by example. I think Napoleon Bonaparte is famous for saying, when the general gets a cold, the army gets pneumonia. It's true. As a leader, if you do something just a little bit, the people coming along behind you will take it a lot further. Jesus said, a student fully trained will be like his teacher. A student fully trained will be like his teacher. And so as leaders, we want people to follow in our good steps. We're not above them. We're not below them. We're in front of them and saying, follow me as I follow Christ. So kids, church leaders, community leaders, others are watching you. Leaders multiply themselves. How do they do this? By example, they multiply themselves because it's not all about me. I'm part of a team. Our job is to teach others our job and to make a way for them to step up into the vacancy that I lead as I move into a different job as well. So leadership is not making your job so mysterious that nobody else could ever do it. We want to make it so easy for them to step into our task and so others can come alongside. The second one here is leaders care for their team. We really care for our people. It's not just a job we're at. We're not just checking off a list. We really have the heart of Jesus for everyone on our team. The third one is leaders know that there is a battle going on. Yes, we pace ourselves, and yes, we're in it for the long haul. And yes, we're not going to lose our cool in the middle of a battle, but we are in a war, really, and lives are at stake, and people's futures are at stake. So my job, well done, may contribute to rescuing a person from hell, helping a lost sheep find his way home, encouraging a marriage on the verge of giving up, or supporting a coworker working through a difficult circumstance. It's a big deal. In the movie Black Hawk Down, which I don't really recommend movies, I'm just quoting from this movie. So the road's getting tough in the middle of the movie, and the colonel says, "Sergeant, get in that truck and drive." And the sergeant says, "But I'm shot, Colonel." And the colonel says, "Everybody's shot. Get in and drive." Sometimes we think, oh, I'm wounded, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that. No, it is a big deal what we're doing. Leadership is a big deal. And we want to never, ever, ever give up. We want to keep on. We want to be not weary in well-doing. For in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So thanks again. We are going to continue on one more episode for a 3-part mini-series of how to raise up leaders. God bless you. We will see you next time. Please like and share this podcast with others. It really helps. Love you guys. Hey friends, thanks for joining in with me today. I'm really encouraged to see folks wanting to become more fruitful and effective in their walk with Jesus. Strong and Healthy episodes are released each week on Tuesdays and Fridays, so please follow this podcast and share with a friend. And if you'd like, please leave a review and a comment, and you can also contact me at contactstevebarr@gmail.com. God bless. See you next time.